Now for the fun part. Gotta wire this up. Comes with instructions, relays, and fuses. So pretty much kit comes with everything you need. Everything, literally everything you need to wire up your fan. So let's get to it. We're gonna wire this up with a switch as well, so I can turn it on and off anytime I want to. So this is definitely a great option for me, in my opinion, when the car gets hot and I want to turn it on whenever I want to. So that's that. I'm gonna label this kit in the description. I purchased this from Summit. This kit has everything labeled. They have different color wires. It has relays, so you don't have to buy, or add an inline relay. It comes with the instructions that you can follow as well. I have it in English and in Spanish. And so basically my red wire, I'm gonna have it wired up to go all the way in my ECU box to this switch, so I can turn it on and off. Or later on, you're gonna see how I wired up everything. I'm gonna explain thoroughly how I did that, so hang tight. All right, so I decided to mount mine's in the ECU box. I put it here because it's gonna be, secured, covered. No water gonna get to it and stuff like that. So that's hidden, and I drilled a hole with this. I drilled a hole through the ECU box and basically got the wire coming through here. It's gonna go through this hole and come out through the side. My fender is removed, so I was able to do this, but another route you can go, you can put it anywhere you want. You can mount it right here, here somewhere, possibly under here, anywhere behind the firewall if you want. And you can have the wires coming through here if you don't want to tuck your wires. But me personally, I'm already doing a wire tuck and I don't want most of my wires showing. So I have my wires sent through here. My fender's removed, so there's a hole that goes right here. I don't think nothing goes right here when I put the fender back on, but it goes through here. I have it coming out this way on my wires. The orange is gonna be the positive for fan number 1. And if you're running 2 fans, this is gonna be fan number 2. This is gonna be the probe that goes in the radiator, fins. And the green wire is gonna be for the AC switch. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to extend my wires because for the power and the ground for my fan is this long. So it won't be enough. I'm going to ground my fan. There is a spot right here, that stud, that's a ground. So I'm gonna ground mines right there, and I'm gonna extend my power. So I need to run to the store, get a 14 gauge wire to extend my wire and go right there. I don't have a second fan, so I'm just gonna leave this alone. If you do have a second fan, I would extend the blue wire to the fan number 2. And unfortunately, I gotta extend this as well. So I'm gonna cut, extend the wire, and splice. I'm gonna leave the AC switch alone. I'm not running any AC at the moment, so I'm gonna leave this until summer comes around next year. So I'm gonna leave this one alone. According to the instructions, it says it's very effective to put it near the top or the upper coolant hose. So that's the closest I could go to the inlet. So I already made my hole through there, hole through there. I follow the diagram of how it's supposed to be installed. So now I'm gonna shove all that through here. Bring that, just like that. Beautiful. Shove this all the way in there. Oh. Just like that. Yep. So just like that. So I'm just gonna cut this little piece off and that should be it. So I successfully have everything hooked up to the fan that it should be. I have mine's mounted right here. It's just, you know, it's just there. So when the ECU is there, I can just cover that up and it'll be secured. Remember, I drilled a hole right here for it to come out. So my blue wire is ran onto there. Blue wire is the second fan. Orange is the first fan. Green wire for this is the AC switch, or whatever you call it. And what's the other one? This is the probe. So this is the slight modification that I had to do. So I have my weather strip. Basically have a weather strip going all the way here. Have it tucked. Ran it all the way down here. You can see down that way. Up underneath here. It comes through here. And I have it all wired up like the instructions say. And the probe, I have the weather strip coming up here. The probe stops. You can see stops right there. The probe comes out and insert into there. This is where I got kind of creative. Okay, so I got a male and female connector. So the male and female connector, you can see, let's open up so you can see. For the positive that's coming from the fan, I put a female, and I basically sliced the wire to make sure. So yeah, so this is the positive, the first fan, fan number 1 wire, and this is the positive. This is the positive for the fan. That's how I have it wired. So just in case I want to remove this, if I want to put it in a service mode, I don't have a long wire that's coming from my ECU box, you know, getting in the way, where instead of having to remove this, all I have to do is disconnect my positive, and my ground is actually, I have it on that stud right there. So all I have to do is remove the ground, disconnect the positive from the male, or from the female connector, and this will be disconnected completely. I also had to extend the probe wire. So the probe wire, as far as it can reach, was right here. So I had to splice that, connect it to a what wire is it? It's like this thick. It looks like a 16 gauge. Yep, looks like a 16 gauge or whatnot. So I had to extend that wire, and I have a, let me see if I can find it. Here it is. That's how I have it. So I got a male and a female, so I can easily disconnect it if I want to remove my core support and put it in service mode. So I made that easier on myself. So that's a slight modification that I had to do. Pretty simple. If you are, know anything about crimping your wires and stuff like that, you should have no issues. So that's that for the front. The last step is basically wiring up my ground, getting 12V ignition like the instructions said, 12V ignition, and I'm gonna wire up my switch. Forgot to mention that the I have my power. This is the red wire power, yellow is ignition, and the ground wire. It all got routed through the cabin just like that. So I have all the wires through already. So